So we're going to have a quick look around the yard now. It's an exciting time of the year as plans come to fruition, hopefully, for the season ahead. I suppose it's only fair to start with Boothill, who's been a wonderful servant for us. He's 10 now, so he's not getting any younger, but he has thankfully made a full recovery from an injury he got picked up at Ascot in January in the Clarence House. And all being well, he's all set to reappear in the Schlur Chase at Cheltenham, where he was a fine second to John Bon last year. We'll no doubt come up against John Bon again, who obviously is going to be very hard to beat. But the benefit this time around is we don't have any penalties to carry. So whether £6 will be enough, we'll see. But we were only getting a couple of pounds from John Bon last season. So we'll be looking forward to getting him back started. He tends to always run well fresh. You can see he's being friendly this morning. He's more interested in his breakfast than me. But after that, obviously, the races sort of pick themselves, those good 2-mile races. And obviously, we'll be trying to place him to best effect, and whether that's running in those conditions, 2-mile chases, or dropping back up into handicap company, we'll see and we'll play it by ear. But it'd be great to see him back on the race course, and we can go from there. And next door to him, who's you might wonder what on earth he's wearing, was a bib, for those that don't know, to stop him chewing his rugs. So on the Bayou has a habit of doing that. So rather than going through endless rugs all the time, he wears his bib. He's a lovely horse who didn't actually get to run last season, having bought him after winning a point-to-point. He had a hold-up at Christmas. And then we didn't get the opportunity to run him in the spring. But he made a really pleasing return to the track when we ran him in a bumper at Newton Abbot recently. He was always going to need the outing, having not run for over a year. And the race wasn't really run to suit, but that wasn't the purpose of the day. It was just to get him out and get a run under his belt, because he jumps for fun, and really looking forward to seeing him go over hurdles now. And we'll probably start at the stiff 2 miles or 2 1/4, and look to be stepping him up during the course of the season. He's definitely a stayer, but he's a nice young horse to keep an eye on for sure. And we got Valadon next door to him, who he could be a little bit of a dark horse this year, because obviously this time last year we tried him over fences, which didn't work at all. He could start out at Plumpton on the 17th, or probably more likely go to Exeter on the 23rd, where of course he won as a 3-year-old. Got Soul Limbo here, who's actually recuperating from an injury he picked up the last day at Stratford. He's had a productive summer, winning over hurdles and on the flat. Actually won a novice at Bath. He doesn't really have any right to be winning over 1.25 miles on the flat, but they went very hard, and it suited him. But he'd be a horse that, once he's fully recovered for the spring, that can hopefully ply his trade in both over hurdles and back on the flat come the spring. Down the end we've got Star Walking, who she's deliberately on the end wall because she's not the most sociable of characters, and has a habit of, especially at feeding time, knocking 10 bells out of the stable wall and doors, and pulling faces at her neighbour. So that's why she's on the end with only one beside her. Give Miss Goldfire a mention, because she's been great fun for the syndicate. She probably ran more times than anyone else for us last season, and she was really consistent and deservedly got off the mark at the end of last. The final day, same day as Valadon actually. Walk on High, he's another horse that he's definitely worth mentioning, because although he took 10 starts or 10 goes to finally break his duck and get off the mark for the first time, he's now won 3 on the bounce, including a nice little prize down at Plumpton recently, and he's actually out of Hine Retreat. It was my first ever winner. And it's Sunday morning, so it's a bit quieter. The horses tend to have a day off, unless they're running the next couple of days. They're either in the loose pen or, as you see, empty boxes on the horse walker. Trustintimes, he's set to run this Friday, all being well, at Cheltenham. He's won his last, another one who's won his last 3 on the bounce, from a bumper at Kempton to his first 2 hurdle starts at both at Uttoxeter actually, the very start of the season, and we were keen to get more experience into him with a view to it would have been harder for him carrying a penalty at this time of year. So he followed up again at Uttoxeter in June, and that means he runs off a mark of 119 at Cheltenham in a novices handicap hurdle, which is bound to be competitive. All races are at Cheltenham, but I think he's only 4, and there's only improvement to come, all being well. So he's a 4-year-old that's certainly on an upward curve. Stanners Glen's a new recruit. He made he's won his last 2 starts in a point-to-point, and encouragingly, actually, that's what convinced us to buy him, was winning a bumper nicely at Tipperary. The form's already working out nicely, and he's set to start out in a 2-mile maiden novice hurdle, so second half of November, and he's a 6-year-old, so he's had that little bit more time to mature, but he's exciting in that we don't know yet what we got on our hands, and hopefully he can prove a winning addition to the team, and he'll make a lovely chaser in time as well, but he should more than pay his way in over hurdles this season. Altobelli, he was one of our highlights from last season, and finally he came good in, as we always thought. We felt that he was nicely handicapped, and so it proved with 2 good successes at Ascot in January and February. We can forget his last run at Aintree. We finally worked out that he just likes going right-handed. So, and because of his fine record at Ascot, the plan is to head back there in a couple of weeks for the Ascot hurdle over the same course and distance that he won over earlier on in the year. And it'd be interesting to see him, how he performs in graded company that day, because if he went well, I'd like to try him again at 3 miles, and obviously you have the long walk back there at Ascot just before Christmas. But I haven't ruled out either going over fences. You can see plenty of size and scope. So options are open for him, but he's got exciting season ahead of him, all being well, whether that's sticking to hurdles with those early Ascot races, going to be very informative, or switching to fences during the course of the season. We'll wait to see. This dear old Metier, who wears his Batman hood, as our girls call it, because bizarrely, this time last year we couldn't train him. He kept breaking out in a skin allergy, and it turned out he was allergic to cats. So this is just to hopefully prevent any reoccurrence of that. But he's not getting any younger anymore, although you enjoy riding him, don't you, Sky? So, but he's, didn't excel in the November handicap, which of course he won 3 years ago. And we'll look to try him back over hurdles, probably 2.5, with some headgear on, and see how he goes. And if he tells us that he's had enough, then we won't pursue any further, and he'll have earned a happy retirement. The Sherminator's another one out on the in the walker at the moment, but he's another progressive 4-year-old that he won 2 junior national hunt hurdles last season, and actually they've tweaked the rules of those races slightly, so definitely to Sherminator's benefit, because he can go and run in an ordinary novice now without any penalties for either of those 2 successes. So, from our point of view, it's ideal. He's got a rating of about 118. He could go back to Taunton, where he made a winning debut for us. So, at the end of the month, if the ground comes right for us, because I'm keen to get more experience into him and make the most of the rule changes. And I think he could. He obviously, we know having won over hurdles already, I think he can go well again back in novice company, and with the thinking that another run subsequent to give us 4 runs over obstacles would then line us up for some hopefully valuable handicap hurdles in the second half of the season, because being only 4, he's certainly progressed with each run last year, and I like to think he's done again over the summer. So he'd definitely one to keep an eye on as the season progresses, and once we're eligible for some more valuable handicaps, he could be very interesting. He won at Newbury last year, and possibly something like the Newbury Hurdle in February could be a lovely race to target with him. So we like to try and use the loose pens as much as we can. They obviously, it's great to get them out, especially on a day off. And this is Idaho Sun, who, he's an hour or so in the loose pen. But he obviously was a real highlight last season, winning his first 2 starts and running with real promise in the champion bumper, where he actually got, it was a strange renewal because they didn't go very fast early on, which normally they do for all of the festival races, but or any race at Cheltenham, but certainly that day in the bumper they didn't go hard, and they ended up quickening down the hill, and he just got completely unbalanced, and Brian Carver was just very sensible and just held on to him and let him find his feet as they got into the bottom of the hill, and as he hit the rising ground he really stayed on powerfully to finish staying on 6th, and he's obviously already made a winning reappearance and successful on his hurdling debut at Fontwell, which was great to just get that first run into him. There'll be plenty of improvement from just the run bringing him forward, but also the experience of jumping hurdles in public. And all being well, he'll go to Ascot for a race that we've won a couple of times, been a nice stepping stone to sort of better things, not least for Metier. It's an introductory hurdle where they can only run in 1 hurdle race, so that'll be a lovely stepping stone, all being well. To if that goes the way we hope it might, then he could go to Aintree on Boxing Day for the Formby. I'd love to run him in a strongly run 2-mile race on a track like Aintree on soft ground. I think that would be right up his street, and hopefully he can continue to progress and be one of the leading novice hurdlers this season. Gidleigh Park gets to go out in the bigger pen. We'll see. Sometimes he enjoys it so much he doesn't want to come in, but we'll see how if he's going to play ball. But obviously it's well documented what we went through last season with him, so it was great to after having had an aborted first start over fences, to then obviously be successful at Windsor in Grade 2 company, and then where he beat obviously the Caldwell Potter, who was hugely progressive through the spring, winning at Cheltenham and Aintree, and so the form is rock solid, and he followed that success up with a fine run when runner-up himself in Grade 1 company to Impair and Passe, and he had the Arkle winner in 3rd, and that was 2.5 miles. I could have run him over 2 or 2.5 at that meeting, but with the spring weather we went for the first race on the opening day of the Grand National meeting in April to get the best of the ground. And that's why we've just had to be patient this autumn, just to wait for conditions to come in his favour. I'd have loved to run him at Exeter in the Holden Gold Cup, but the ground wasn't slow enough, and we're waiting for now to go to Ascot for the Hurst Park, which is it's only a Class 2, but it's a valuable handicap, and it's a race that we've won a couple of times in the past, not with Boothill, and I just think it could be a lovely starting point for him. And I'm not too worried about trip. I think he's shown speed at 2. We know he gets further, 2.5, and I think we could combine, sort of run him over those sort of 2 distances this campaign when it's soft ground. That's the key, and yeah, I'm really excited about him as a second season chaser. He's hugely exciting prospect, and if we get a clear run, which touch wood so far at the moment, it's gone well this autumn, then hopefully he can hit the very highest sort of mark over fences and be successful at the highest level. We didn't get to run at the festival in March last year. We had just a minor setback just before Cheltenham, and thus we ended up going to Aintree, where obviously he ran very well anyway. But yeah, I'd love to get to March in tip-top form, and I think probably somewhere like I'd love to progress enough to be going into a Ryanair potentially with a really strong chance would be that would be very exciting. But we'll get one race at a time and just let him tell us what he's ready for, and hopefully the campaign he can progress through the season, and the races pick themselves then in a way. But yeah, he's a fine big horse, and plenty of excitement and hopes and dreams rest with him, that's for sure.